We're also adding a new name to the naming of this program, and that's Dr. Brett Gemlick. We lost Dr. Gemlick this past year, and he was a huge part of our sports medicine program, as was Dr. Albright before him in the origination of the sports medicine program when it was still Sport One. Dr. Gemlick joined us at this very banquet last year to talk about his long and special relationship as a family with Dr. Albright's family. And I think you'll see from the clip just how honored the two would be to now share the name of this award program.
I went to Snyder High School and grew up over by Georgetown Square. And when I was in 5th grade, this was 1980, my dad, who wasn't much of a do-it-yourselfer, was up in our attic above the garage trying to fix something. And just as Dr. Albright was walking by our driveway, my dad fell through the floor of the attic and broke his ankle. And Dr. Albright never knew my dad, never met us, and instead of just saying go to the ER, he picked my dad up, put him in his car, took him to the ER himself, and kind of rushed him through the system. And after that, he and my dad were best buddies. And in fact, to this day, his family and my family, 35, 37 years later, still celebrate all holidays together and vacation together. So, and in addition, it's the reason I became an orthopedic surgeon. He was kind of my mentor as I was growing up, and he was in Orthopedics Northeast, and I kind of followed in his footsteps.
Have you thanked your dad for falling out of that attic?
Absolutely.
And also, Dr. Albright, big part, interesting that you went into sports medicine because he played a big part in starting the sports medicine program that was Sport One, at O&E.
Correct. He was one of the pioneers of bringing the practice of sports medicine to not only northern Indiana, but to Indiana as a whole. He was one of the first ones in Indiana to bring athletic trainers in to care for the kids. So he was one of the early pioneers of sports medicine, and I wanted to kind of emulate that in my practice.
And it was important to you guys to make sure that you carried on his name through this program that you guys started in the early 2000s, 2003, 2004 school year. Talk a little bit about, for you guys that are the next generation of O&E surgeons, why it was important to start this program and to name it after him.
Sure. He unfortunately was diagnosed with malignant melanoma in 1992 and died at the age of 45 in 1993. He left behind 4 children. The oldest was, I think, 14 at the time, and they were all in sports: hockey, swimming, baseball. So he was a really proponent of youth sports, and kind of got us all interested in it. And after he died, 2 years later, we started the Albright golf outing, and then 8 or 9 years later, we started this in his memory to kind of keep his legacy going for his love of youth sports.
Well, thank you so much for coming up and putting what we're talking about tonight in context and understanding kind of the meaning behind the program for the guys that started it. It sounds like Dr. Albright was just an amazing guy.
He was a great guy. Congratulations, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
Two men that gave so much of their lives dedicated to helping young men and young women like the nominees that we're going to go through here